why is she attracted to the players? Why is she attracted to the bad boys that don't give her, their whole heart? Why are women attracted to men that seem unattainable? All right, guys. So the reason I brought this up is this morning I had a coaching call with a client, and he's at this stage now, which is awesome. He's a really cool guy. But I don't know, 4 months ago, he, would get a shot here and there with a woman, and then eventually something would happen, and he, she would lose interest, and he would be kind of stuck out there, left to just dry. And now he's at a situation where, as we were talking this morning, he has 5 different women that he's gone on a date with here or there, and now they're texting him out of the blue. This to him is something that has never happened before in his life, to where they're reaching out to him, asking, when can we hang out again? When can we go on another date? When can I see you again? And part of what he was a little confused about was, and he was a little worried, really, to be honest, was he was kind of like worried that, well, if this girl finds out that I'm going on dates with other women, will she be upset? Will I lose her? He was also wondering why when, right now he went on a trip for 5 days, and now, he's away from his normal area where they're at. And he was kind of wondering too why him being away made them all kind of like, when he gets back next week, they're trying to line up to see him. So part of why women love players, or they love the bad boys, I'm going to give you 2 reasons why. Just to give you a different perspective on this, because, again, he was loving this, but he was a little bit, shocked. Why is this working? Why is me not reaching out to them like I used to do, making her start to text me first and start to ask me when I can, hang out with her again? Okay, so let's think about this in 2 ways. The first way is, all right, I have an iPhone here. Okay, do you guys remember when... I remember one of the biggest things, and depending on how old you are, you might remember this, might not. Maybe I'll put a picture of this up on the screen. But I remember when the LG chocolate cell phone was like the coolest cell phone for a bit. That was a cell phone that everybody wanted. You got a chocolate? Oh man, let me see that. Let me check that out. That's so cool. All right, there was a period in time where everyone wanted this LG chocolate, at least around me and, that time of my life. And I remember myself kind of being like, oh, I want one of those. That's cool. All right, well, why did everyone want a chocolate then? And now, if you had an LG chocolate, people would look at that and laugh, be like, oh my gosh, I remember one of those. Have fun with that. No one wants that anymore. Well, one of those reasons is because when something's in demand, when other people want something, it increases the value in your own eyes. It increases the value in our eyes. When everybody thinks that the LG chocolate is really cool and that's the thing to have, that's the trend. When everybody wants it, supply and demand, right? Then it raises its value because it's wanted. So let's relate that with women. When you as a man signal that you have other options, that means you're busy. That means you're not reaching back out to all these women. You're not initiating conversations just because you miss her, right? When you are keeping that mystery alive and she doesn't really know, but she kind of gets the vibe that you might be hanging out with other women just by the way you're playing it. Why does that make women want you more? Well, it's the same exact reason why nowadays an iPhone is what people want. And no one wants an LG chocolate, because no one wants the LG chocolate. If you get the LG chocolate, it's not cool, is it? Same thing with women. When a woman senses that you have options, she senses that other women want you, that in itself, she goes, wow, why do other women want him? He must be valuable. Other people want him. It raises your own value in her eyes. This is why the rich get richer as far as dating wise. The players get more women because they have this abundance mindset And women can sense that. And when a woman senses you have that abundance mindset, she goes, other women want him too. Wow, he must be valuable. So the first part is like, just think of that LG chocolate that no one cares about anymore. When you're wanted by other things, or when other people want a product, it makes you go, dang, if everyone else wants it, there must be value in this. So now I want it. So that would be the first reason why, which is totally opposite of our blue pill brainwashing. We think in the movie, it's like, oh, if we find out that this guy's a player, what a jerk. And girls are going to move on because, he wasn't in it just for me. So I'm going to move on because he's not good for me. That's what we're raised to believe, that like if you give off the signs of a player, you're going to break her heart or whatever, and then she's not going to want you anyway. Not true. Just like the LG chocolate, us as human beings, we want something that other people want because it signals there's value there. Same reason why if you are going to buy a new book on Amazon, you look at all the customer reviews. You look at all the reviews. You go on Yelp or whatever to go to a new restaurant. You want to see what other people think about it. And if other people give it 5-star reviews, you're like, no brainer, I'm going to buy it. Same thing in the field of dating or meeting women is when you have options, you become more valuable because other women want you. Wow, you must be valuable. So that was the first thing that when I explained it to him, he's like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Cool. He felt a little bit better about his situation instead of feeling bad. Now, the second thing I wanted to bring up about this is, again, let's think about this. If you're a man that's busy and you're a man that has options and you're a man that's doing your own thing and you're not putting a woman first like it should be, like you're just focusing on yourself, you're figuring out your life, what do you want to do, what's going to improve your life, you're putting yourself first, and a woman has to work to get your attention. She has to work to get your affection. All right? Again, opposite of how we're raised in the blue pill mindset where tell her how you feel. Tell her how you feel. Show her you care about her. All right? Well, here's the second reason why women like players, why she goes for the players, is that when you have to work for something, you appreciate it so much more than if it's given freely to you. If you think about in your own life, if you've ever saved up for something big that you wanted, you had to sacrifice for something. For instance, I'll just use my own, an example of my life of when I was a school teacher and I wanted to buy my own home. I wanted to buy an investment property, a duplex. It was hard to sacrifice at first to what I was doing was setting aside 10% of all my paychecks. And again, as a school teacher, I wasn't making that much money, especially as an early, a beginner school teacher. And I was spending a ton of my own money, thousands of dollars for the classroom, for snacks for kids that, didn't have food at home, for new books for kids to read, for cool furniture in the classroom. I wanted the classroom to be a really cool place. So by saying that, right, money for me it was a sacrifice for me to hold back 10% of my paycheck. I stopped, going out to the bars as much and spending my own money. I was just more careful with how I spent my money. I had to work to save before I was able to buy my duplex here. Now, the reason I say that is because I appreciate my home so much more because I had to work for it. I had to sacrifice for it. It wasn't given freely to me. Versus, let's just say that my grandpa or something owned this duplex, and then when he passed away, that was given to me freely. Would I have loved it? Absolutely. It would have been awesome. But there's no way that I would have the appreciation that I do for my place if it was given freely to me. The fact that I had to work for it, the fact that I had to sacrifice to attain this, makes it a lot more like now I try to clean up my place. I try to take care of it. If something goes wrong here, I'm like on it. I had to work for this place. I appreciate it. Think about that same scenario with dating and with women. If you give your love freely, if you give your emotions freely to her, if you do whatever she wants just because she's a girl that you like, she You're giving yourself freely to her, which means she will not value you nearly as much as the guys that she has to work for. So think about that again, all right? This is why women like the players. They have to work for these guys. The players are the guys that if a girl isn't reaching out to them or like, hey, can we hang out? The players are just like, I don't care. I'm going to hang out with someone else. I'm going to keep doing my thing, and other girls will just come into my life and they'll make themselves available for me. That would be the mindset of a player. And because of that, the women in that player's life have to work to get his attention. They have to work just to see this guy. Versus, again, the opposite mindset that most of us are raised with in the blue pill mindset is that as a man, you have to work for a girl. You have to take her out. You have to wine and dine her. You have to be there for her. You got to change her flat tire. All of that crap. But again, if you do that for a woman and you give yourself freely to her, she doesn't appreciate you because she didn't have to work. So I hope that helps. Those were just some things that as we went over it today and it helped him kind of see a little more clearly, it was like, oh, cool. Yeah, that's something that I think a lot of guys should know. Because again, it's opposite of how we were grown up raised to believe of what we're supposed to do with women. So to do a quick recap, 2 big reasons why women love the players is because 1, just like that LG chocolate phone, when other people want something, it increases the value in your mind. You start to see that thing or that person is more valuable because other people want it. And so as a player, by the way you're that abundance mindset that you're just encompassing and giving off to the women you meet, they sense that other women want you. And because other women want you, why is that? You must be a high value man. So their own attraction for you raises in their mind when they sense that other women want you. And that's all about how you act and behave and that mindset you encompass. Other than the second reason that women love the players is that they have to work for the players. The players know the game. The players know how to keep the women just spinning on the plates. So the women in the life of those players, those women know that they have to work to spend time with that guy. And when you have to work for something, you appreciate it more. When a woman has to work to see you, when you hang out with her, even if you're sitting in sweatpants and she comes over to your place and you're going to just watch a movie, that she values you and your time just watching a movie with you far more than she values going to the 5-star restaurant from some guy that wined and dined her and did all this for her. She values your time in your sweatpants watching a movie more than that 5-star restaurant with that guy because she had to work for you. And when she has to work for you, she appreciates the time she spends with you. So there you guys go. I hope that helps. That, if you guys are out there still in the game of dating and you start to feel bad, you feel guilty, you start to see, you kind of, that creeps up in you and you start to go, well, maybe I should make her feel special. Maybe I should treat her a little differently. I don't want her to feel bad type thing. It's just, when you understand female nature, you understand the game, you understand human nature really, you start to realize that, that abundance mindset is, if a woman comes into your life and she's playing by your rules and she's making your life better, then sure, give her a little bit of time. Let her hang out with you then. That's the mindset. It's like, okay, fine. If she's going to do all that for me and she's going to benefit my life, cool. I'm glad to spend, some time with her. But if you're living your life opposite, where you're like, oh, what do I have to do to get her? What do I have to do? What kind of date do I need to take her on to make her think about me and to make her want me? You see the difference in those energies? It's a huge difference, but that is part of the reason why women will love players is because you're coming from that abundance mindset, just a different mindset, a mind frame, and that's what women are attracted to because you just have that strong, confident vibe that she now benefits just by being around you. You don't have to take her out to these fancy dinners. You don't have to do all this nice stuff for her. Just her being around you is enough for her. That's what, it's a big mindset change, but that is the golden nugget, guys, to start realizing is you don't have to do stuff for women. Just you as being a strong masculine man, women should appreciate being around you. And if they don't, then no worries. Move on with your life. Keep focusing on doing what you want to do and let them come along for the ride if they so choose to do that. But don't change your life to try to get women into your life. Hopefully that makes sense. And let me know what you guys think about that. And was that because this one was a big time eye opener for me when I was like migrating from the blue pill beta mon mindset where I was like, oh wow, what do I need to do so that she'll want to hang out with me? As opposed to now where I'm just like, what's she gonna do to make me want to hang out with her? What's she gonna offer? Is she gonna bring me Taco Bell? Is she gonna bring me a bottle of wine? What is she going to do to entice me to hang out with her? That is completely opposite of how I used to think about things, where I was like, what do I need to do to entice her to hang out with me? Hopefully that helps, guys. And, keep swallowing those red pills. Keep swallowing them. Keep strengthening that mind. Love you all. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe.